Hi, friends. Welcome back. I'd like to share one of my favorite Yom Kippur stories with you today. When we think about Yom Kippur, we think about the things that have gone well in the last year and the things that have maybe not gone so well for us. This story, for me, really talks about the importance of how we treat one another. So I'd like to share with you Giraffes Can't Dance. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim. But his knees were awfully crooked, and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees. But when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons teamed up for a splendid Irish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming, and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald!" The animals all sneered. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird." Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." So he crept off from the dance floor, and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. Then he found a little clearing, and he looked up at the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on. But sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to." With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was swaying gently, and his tail was swishing round. He threw his legs out sideways, and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. "I'm dancing! Yes, I'm dancing! I am dancing!" Gerald cried. Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him, quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream! Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen! How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love." One of the lessons that Gerald's friends, the animals, learned was that everyone's different and that making fun of him made him feel really terrible. And watching him dance, even though it was a totally different way than they danced, gave them the idea that he looked really great and he was having fun. And they were then envious. They thought he looked really cool. They wanted to be more like Gerald. They saw that they had been mean, and they realized that they didn't need to be mean because he was different. When we think about Yom Kippur, it's important to think about how we've treated people. It's important for us to think about the people that we live with in our family and to think about our friends from school, from our neighborhood, our cousins. And it's important to think about 4 things. It's important first to be able to say you're sorry when you've done something that maybe is wrong, that maybe hurts someone's feelings. The second thing is to ask for forgiveness. So ask that person to forgive you. The third thing is to fix what you've done wrong. The animals in the clearing tried to fix what they did wrong by supporting Gerald and telling him what a great dancer he was. And the most important thing, really, is the fourth thing. Try not to do that same thing again. It can be really hard sometimes, but try not to make that mistake. And understand that if you do, you can go back through all four of those steps and say you're sorry and ask for forgiveness and try harder not to do that again. Thank you guys for stopping by and reading with me today. I hope we can read again together soon. Bye.